Now we'll get back into talking about whatever we watched from this week in wrestling that we liked and didn't like. We call it high spots and rest holds. Okay, so we'll start out with taking a look at Raw this week, which I, again, quite enjoyed. And it's funny because we talked a little bit beforehand. There's 2 segments that my notes say Jack can discuss, and you said those are the only 2 things that you had written down to discuss. So it's pretty like we know each other.
We unintentionally run a well-oiled machine.
We do, because it's kind of funny.
It's like we knocked over the oil and it's just dripping in there, and the machine's running.
It's almost too oiled.
I'm all oiled up. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Again, while you're talking still.
I'm gonna stop talking.
So the show starts with Drew McIntyre in the ring.
I did see a bit of this because I think I was there when you started Raw, and then I don't remember when I left.
And it was a recap of him like killing Punk on SmackDown and taking his Larry AJ bracelet, right?
Which I think we mentioned last week too.
He says here, this isn't official, but like he's kind of demanding that he gets to enter the Money in the Bank ladder match because he's been screwed over lately, and he's going to win while Punk lays there alone and miserable because of him.
Yeah.
He's going to win Money in the Bank, win the World Heavyweight title that night in spite of Punk. So,
I would kind of like that.
I more good stuff from Drew. I think he's still pretty much right about everything. And then, so later in the show, he interacts with Pierce, I think, backstage, and basically he's like, "You're putting me in this match." So I don't think it's confirmed, but it's like, because Pierce is like, "Well, everybody else has to like qualify in a match," and he's like, "No, you guys have screwed me over. I shouldn't have to qualify. Put me in."
Yeah, he deserves.
So we'll see. Breaker and Kaiser.
His qualifier is against Sheamus and Dragunov, so like I'll allow it.
True. Breaker and Kaiser were having a really good match with kind of Braun having to be the face here, which was interesting.
Makes more sense.
It
Just
does.
because like he's been. Actually, it doesn't make more sense because I was like, because Kaiser's been being people like. Braun killed Ricochet, so
true.
I redact my comment. It doesn't make more sense one or the other.
It makes sense because they can't babyface Kaiser. There's no way.
That's what I was thinking, is because Braun's been a babyface before. So I was like, but like in context of recent events, I redact my comment because if anything, then it would make more sense for. Oh, but he turned. Okay, no, I'm just gonna stop.
Stop talking, right?
I'm gonna stop.
Sorry, everyone. He's decided to talk this week. So they were having a good match, and then Sheamus came in and blindsided Kaiser like Braun did to Kaiser last week, right? So
which was awesome.
DQ in this match as well. Sheamus then clears the commentary table, tries to hit a powerbomb to Kaiser, so he's got him up, and then Braun spears him and takes out sort of both of them. Apparently, Kaiser got hurt in this match. I don't know where or how severely. Yeah, his
qualifier, which is where Dragunov was slotted in.
But yeah, right. I thought this was good use of DQ finishes, like to enrage Braun, because it's like the issues these guys are having are costing him these matches, so he's pissed off about it.
Yeah, I like that.
And it furthers the issue with Sheamus.
I'd like
a
4-way at SummerSlam if we got Zayn, Sheamus, Kaiser, Breaker, because that's a great crop there, and then also kind of good for Kaiser, who hasn't really done much solo wise.
Agree. I think it's a nice group for that,
especially because he's missing out on Money in the Bank. So I feel like it's like, and I don't actually. Well, even if Braun does beat Sami at Money in the Bank, like you could still do that exact match.
You could.
So
yeah, doesn't hurt anything. So Kaiser's really good as this cerebral, calculating heel, right? And
I really like Kaiser. They got something there for sure.
Do. And Braun is this great explosive powerhouse. The crowd, when he leaped up to do the Frankensteiner, that got a big reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, I think he botched it with Sheamus, but...
And then later, he did.
Yeah.
He confronted Pierce about an Intercontinental title shot. Zayn walked up and was like, anytime, any place.
Toronto, baby.
And Braun says, we're doing it for Money in the Bank. So that's that should be fun, I think.
I feel like we should have gone to Money in the Bank. I wouldn't. Wasn't it like...
Not for that price, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's either that or it wasn't available. I don't remember.
No, it was expensive. Still enjoying the Judgment Day Live stuff. So this week, she bought Dom and I guess the rest of them a bunch of gifts, like they're playing PlayStation or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And Priest walks up and advises Dom, like, he needs to end things with Liv. Liv sends Dom some sort of sexy text, apparently, that she shows it to everyone.
It's just like the thing at school says, respect me, don't sex me.
Right. So there's more of her coming up later in this. I thought Valkyrie, Kairi Sane, and Baszler had a good 10-minute triple threat match to qualify for Money in the Bank.
Who took the pin?
not Baszler.
Yay.
I made a note of that. Good match, and Baszler did not take the pin. So
I mean, she didn't win, but I'll take my win here.
Lots of near falls for 10 minutes. Pretty cool finish. You had Baszler kicking Kairi Sane off the top, Lyra lifting Baszler up, who counters it into a Kirifuda clutch. Lyra then rolls out of the way as Sane goes for the insane elbow to Baszler, and then Lyra just grabs Sane and hits the Nightwing, and Baszler doesn't get pinned.
I'm picturing that. That works.
Yeah, it was good. So back to Liv. She calls Dom to the ring, but instead Zelina Vega comes out, and they talk about the gifts that Liv got Dom. Liv attacks Vega.
Bet Zelina didn't get anything for the
Dom does end up coming out, and he and Liv talk about the gifts and whether he likes them or not. Liv ends up attacking Vega. Ray pulls Liv off of Vega, so then Dom has to shove Ray. So I kind of like that Dom maybe truly doesn't want to help Liv, but his issues with his father put Dom helping Liv by default, because it's more about, so at least he has that deniability. It's not that I'm into Liv.
That would explain why Dom and Ray are having a match on Raw, I think, next week.
Right.
Also, it's not exactly like highly speaking of Vega that this World Women's title feud is on Raw next week. Like, the title match is on Raw next week.
And it's because that title's back burner. This story is everything, and it's like, who can we throw at this to say she's defending? Yeah. Right? It's
kind of like how they've been back, like the tag title's been back burnered ever since they got split again. Like, they haven't been on a single PLE since Mania.
Maybe it'll pick up. But good storytelling here, and Liv's facial expressions are pretty great, honestly. She then,
it's great because she's not wrestling.
In a backstage segment, she then convinces R-Truth, who thinks she's Carmella at the end of it. I think that's what it was. So she convinces R-Truth because he's like, oh, I love Tom and Nick Mysterio, right? He's still doing that gimmick. So she convinces R-Truth to give friends of Tom and Nick Mysterio a title match in the main event. Mm-hmm. So it's cool because, again, not only she's not just after Dom, right? She's trying to get all of Judgment Day on board because she's told Rhea she's taken everything from her. So if she can get Judgment Day matches and title shots, and it's not about Dom. It's about everything. And
it isn't because I think she's putting the most work into Dom because obviously that's the one closest to Rhea. Right. But she's not discounting everything else. Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
And so she has plans to help all of them or whatever, and she's coming across as clever, right? Like, she's diabolical. And it's amazing what good writing can do for somebody, right? Like,
who's the babyface in that scenario? Is it like, because
Ripley on
yes,
return?
But
until then, nobody.
That's kind of like, it reminds me of what you were saying with the toxic attraction split. It's like, just because, like, why should we feel bad for Rhea in theory?
Right.
Because, like, she was a monster.
She got hurt.
I guess.
She got boo-boo.
But, like, I don't know.
And then even after that, Liv is leaving a room clearly after being alone with Balor in there as Prince shows up. And I think it was Balor said that, like, Liv is too good to be true or something. And it's like, this is all over the show, and I don't mind it. Like, this is the opposite of NXT, where it's like, oh my god,
it's a solid, like, running thread, right?
It is.
Like, it's
very well done stuff. We had Chad Gable gets a cheap win in a triple threat to qualify for Money in the Bank. So Judgment Day took out Strowman. Gable hit a moonsault to Bronson Reed. That was the 3 that was in it for the win. Then you have kind of smoke fills the ring as it's just, I think, Gable in the ring kind of celebrating or whatever. And it's Nikki Cross like crawling on it, kind of freaks Gable out. And then there's this ratty cardboard box on the floor, right? Cross picks it up and gives it to Cole. And it's like, even though it says it's not for me, it's for the other guy that we love so much. He opens it and it's a VHS that says play me or something on it, or just play. I can't remember. And so hopefully, like, I'm liking that Gable's the target. I'm hoping we get an explanation that it's a good one at some point, that he's the first one.
Well, I think it's clear why.
And I like also that he's not being like a comedic coward. He's still trying to get, like, because it could have been always too scared to do anything, but he still wrestled the match and he actually won. And like, he's concerned because the very next thing is he goes to Otis. They have their own dressing room, I guess. And he's basically saying, like, I need you guys, like, blah, blah, blah. And Otis is like, we're firm, we're out. So then this is when the Creeds walk up and are like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm not okay and I need help. So we're getting what we want, right? Where it's looking like Gable's going to be with the Creeds, which makes a ton of sense.
Which is sweet.
Yeah. So again, like, storytelling, interesting stuff happening. Because Judgment Day, to be honest, I wasn't loving them, but the stuff that's being written for them is pretty good.
I love JD
You do.
McDonough.
A rest hold would be the Witches and the Rave Girls had a pretty weak match for the champs retained in 6 minutes, and then Damage Control attacked everyone, and Io hit a moonsault onto. I think
can we just be amazed that
Isla
they
Dawn.
survived past one defense?
Right. So not that those titles are hurting. Rollins and Priest
when have they not been? It's been like, what,
True.
5 years now?
Rollins and Priest had an in-ring exchange. I didn't really get into it. I don't love Damian Priest doing live promos on his own. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's like fine or whatever, but in extended stuff like this, it's not my favorite. So basically, if Priest somehow beats Rollins at Money in the Bank, then Rollins will never challenge for the title as long as Priest has it. If Rollins wins, then Priest has to leave Judgment Day.
Which I was saying to you with Rollins and Wesley, they're doing the exact same thing on the same weekend.
Right.
It's just Rollins, it's a little better because at least there's like you said to me, like there's balanced stakes.
Yes, at least not one person risking something and the other one
at
nothing.
Least on both sides, like they both stand to gain something, I guess. Right. Or like Rollins, I guess, besides he's already gaining the title, so I guess it's like he kind of gains one up on Priest. It's like, I guess Rollins doesn't benefit much from him leaving the Judgment Day.
No, not.
But it's something, I guess.
Gunther comes out and he's cool, and he's basically like, "You guys figure it out," and I've got winner at like. May the best man win this, and then the best man's going to lose to me at SummerSlam, I think is basically what he said. So that's cool. Then my next note says the VHS tape Jack can discuss.
Yeah, so I did have a bit of preamble just because I wasn't sure what you were covering. But yeah, it was after Gil won that match, Nikki Cross appeared, dropped up a box at commentary, Justin McAfee, who was absent, VHS tape inside. So when they play in, I even like the cutting into like kind of like a VHS style, like booting up. That was kind of cool.
It did. I watched this twice.
Really?
I did.
Nice. I've seen it a bunch of times. Yeah,
you showed me, and then I watched it on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It turned to be it was like a therapy-like conversation in what looked to be the darkened Firefly Funhouse set between Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas. Howdy was questioning Bo about how he felt after Bray's death, and straight up was like, "Do you feel like you're exploiting his legacy?"
Yes.
And
not yes to that, but yes, he said that.
Bo talks about how nobody feels the pain he feels, and how all he wanted to be was like Bray, and they were there, but it was taken away from him. And the general consensus to be that this was fantastic, and I agree. I think it was really cool and super well done. And I like that Howdy was kind of going after these hard-hitting issues, like how much that must have hurt him, and how like he could be seen as exploiting his legacy. And so I'm interested to see where it goes. Like if we get a follow-up with Bo, or like if Howdy does a similar thing with Eric Rowan, since he's got such an extensive history. Like it'd be interesting to see where this goes. Like it was really
pretty
cool.
Captivating stuff.
It's pretty interesting.
And I told you the only thing I would have. I mean, and it depends where they go with this, because their decisions might be better, which is weird to say that that's a possibility, because before it would be like it'll be much worse.
Are we allowed to say that?
But I was hoping that it's a slight difference. I was telling you in the moment, I think if he would have been like, my goal was to get here with my brother, because he kind of said like, and then we did it. I would suggest no, you did not.
I think that's meaning just because Uncle Howdy and Bray were doing the stuff before Bray
maybe
left. So like, and that could be seen as that.
Because I
think that's what he's referring to.
I was hoping that he was going to be like, that was my goal, and I was on that path, and you guys never let me get there. You guys as WWE, and that's why
I think with the Uncle Howdy,
I'm back to burn this place down, kind of.
I think with Uncle Howdy, they did kind of get there. So I guess there's that. Well, because they were doing stuff together
for
before.
How long? 2 episodes of something?
Like 6 months.
Okay, so not a lot. And would you say that like he was ever at the level of Bray Wyatt? 'Cause like that he's saying like we both got there and we did stuff together. Amazing.
No, but I'm saying like they were doing that story together before Bray got sick and whatever.
I guess, but Bo Dallas has been with the company for like 20 years and not done anything close to that. Anyways, I was just like, you guys never let me get there until
I do think that's a missed opportunity.
And even that, you guys, okay, fine. They did something for 6 months at the end. Then he's mad that because you guys dragged your feet on doing this, I only got 6 months with my brother.
Okay.
When you guys could have pulled the trigger on this 3 years ago.
I like that then, yeah.
And I'm pissed and I'm going to kill everybody.
I do like that. But yeah, regardless, I think they did a great job with this. Between this and the debut last week, this was fantastic. So I'm personally excited to see where this goes. And between this and the Judgment Day stuff, it's really shifted from SmackDown to Raw now that the Bloodlines faltered out. Like,
Yeah, and I don't get any Bloodline stuff. I don't get Cody stuff because I don't watch SmackDown, and that's cool by me right now.
Yeah. So I really, really enjoyed this as a Bray fan.
It was good.
So
And
I'm interested.
no hurry for matches, really. Just
No,
like keep doing stuff.
I really like this. So I hope we either get like a follow-up similar thing or we delve into Rowan.
I was going to say we start going through the people and figuring out what's going on.
My thing with that is like, so obviously I'm thinking next you go to Rowan, but then it's like Gacy, Cross, and Loomis really have no stake in there. You know what I mean? Just like in terms of history with Bray thing. So like
to it,
you could go through each one, but I'd be interested to see how you do that, because with Rowan you could do somewhat of a similar path. Obviously less so because he spent way more time with Bray.
Yeah.
But then when you get to Gacy, I wonder like if it would be more Bray centric, or if like he would be like asking like these digs like about the schism or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like with Loomis, like when he was stalking people.
Like, does Gacy's backstory we know count, or is it going to be like
a
clean slate?
Exactly.
For him?
So that's what I'd be curious to see. But yeah,
it's good stuff, man. I was interested.
I wouldn't mind if they did the same thing with each person week to week. So it'd be kind of like the Funhouse, where it's like the same thing, but like you're slightly changing the format. And like
and Uncle Howdy can be interviewing all of them
because he's kind of running the show, right? So like and like. It would be, I don't know if it's too supernatural, because here with him interviewing Bo Dallas, that's to imply that it is different. But so then I guess it's like then I'm wondering if every one of them is like a Bray Fiend thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this seems to imply, or at least not even imply,
so
just
it'll be
show
like
us.
Nikki Cross interviewing her weird self.
Not even that, like the we'll say Sister Abigail, if that's what she is.
Yeah.
Interviewing Nikki. It's just that like then Uncle Howdy be interviewing Nikki as if it's not the thing that showed up on Raw. You know what I mean? So like they all the alter egos, which I guess makes sense. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's been good stuff so far. I hope they keep it up.
There's a lot of ways for this to go.
Less impressive is the Cross New Day stuff. It's not doing anything for me.
You lost me at Cross.
Cross beat Kofi in a quick match after AOP are shown.
Yeah, and he kept flying. He's beating 7 world champions right now.
So they've attacked Woods backstage. So there's a lot of good stuff on Raw. This is not one of them. And then the only other thing I said, Jack can discuss main event, which so
Liv got them a title shot, and thanks to Liv again, she's making a case for me. Balor and McDonough win the title, so McDonough's a champion, baby, for the first time in like 4 years.
And it was Liv hugging Truth on the apron, and then like neck snaps him over the rope, and then shotgun dropkick coup de grace to Truth, I think it was.
Jamie McDonough's got a belt, damn it. He's got a title, and it's his, and he has it.
I said, decent match, nothing special. Happy to have the titles change hands to almost anyone but Miz and Truth.
The only better thing I could think of is if they treated Pete Dunne with a shred of respect.
Yes.
But that I will wait
They'll come around.
But no, I'm super happy because, I mean, it's kind of cool because they were...
it's just better for the titles for me, too.
A, better for the titles. B, teacher and protege. So that's cool for them.
Yeah.
C, JD McDonough.
And Judgment Day's got a hot storyline going, so like let's get more attention. And it does
like from like a more non JD McDonough shill perspective, it does bolster the storyline of like Liv making her case.
Right.
Like she got them the tag belts that you guys lost at Mania, and that Balor and JD already lost the match against them for.
Right.
So
her influence is getting them stuff.
Doesn't bode well that they lost to Truth and Miz already, and then but JD McDonough's a belt, everybody. We're gonna be happy.
Yep. Congrats to him.
Let's go.
NXT Tag Team Turmoil match 1.
Speaking of Pete Dunne.
Sorry, Tag Team Turmoil started it out, and the first match in that was Blade and Anafe taking on Bate and Dunne, speaking of which, right? Anafe and Blade get some time in control to hit some double team stuff. Anafe got a cool near fall when he countered the bitter end into like I think it was a hammerlock DDT. Looked pretty good. Bate and Dunne win quickly with the double powerbomb finisher. Then it's Angel and Berto next. Vic calls him Umberto at least twice, so maybe the dream's alive.
Okay, did he say Humberto, or was he struggling to come in? He was like, Berto.
No, he said Umberto.
Okay, so you have to do that because Berto's dumb.
Cool gory bomb into a cutter by LDF. They are LDF, right?
They are. It's just weird for you to say that.
Umberto lands a leaping kick, but it's too close to the ropes, and he hits his head. It looked like it could have been painful, but he seemed okay. Apollo Crews shows up, ?
He's been kind of feuding with them. Did you not have a vision about this?
I did not. I don't have the visions he does. Distraction bait hits the Tyler driver to Umberto for the win.
Give me a bitter end.
Good Brothers are next. They dominate an exhausted.
No, I swear to God, if they won this,
they don't. You don't know. They dominated an exhausted bait.
I know who
Dunn
wins the whole thing. I just don't know how it shakes out.
Magic Killer broken up. Dunn gets an inside cradle on Gallows for the win.
Eat it.
Really quick fall there. Chase U next. Gets more time. It's more back and forth with feats of strength from Bate while facing Hudson. It looks crazy. Like I think it was a stalling suplex. It just looks silly. Holland sacrifices himself to save Chase. Chase throws Bate in the ring and hits a high cross body. And Chase U wins the tag. Wins a tag title shot at Heatwave. So not the greatest because we're going to Heatwave. So.
I was like, and it was dumb of me to even think there was a chance, but I wanted Pete Dunne.
Yeah, no. So I thought the match was a good start to the show. About 17 minutes, moved quickly. Nothing amazing, but some good tag team action along the way. Roxanne Perez keeps being mean to people in the locker room. This week, it's directed to Petrovic. And I think Petrovic is like, I'll prove myself. So we're getting a match between them. And it turned out it was tonight, or the night it was on. Fraser is recruiting Dante Chen to come to the ring with him because he hasn't talked to Axiom in a couple days. So again, why are we teasing these guys breaking up? But anyways, Axiom comes in, says that don't worry, he'll be at ringside for Fraser. Chen bows out and everything seems fine with Axiom.
Did he literally bow out?
No.
Okay, just because Singapore, I don't know. I was just picturing him just going like...
No, just choice of words. Diction,
okay,
if you will.
Diction was confusing.
Ethan Page cuts a promo in the ring, complaining about the same things he has been. Ava comes out.
I love Ethan Page.
Page wants to change the main event a Heatwave. Ava admits he has a point about pinning Javon Evans. Spears interrupts. He thinks that Page is following in his footsteps. He's like, oh, it's so great to see somebody blah, blah, blah. Trying to take credit for him, I guess, because that's what Spears does. He's Jericho. He puts over the young guys.
Hey, he's better.
But he points out that it was Spears that pinned Javon Evans 2 weeks ago. Page points out that flip side is Evans eliminated Spears in the Battle Royal. Spears says he will beat Trick tonight, and Trick's music hits. He comes out.
So over the top rope equals pinfall. They are the same.
It's the exact same. Trick doesn't care who he faces at Heatwave. Could be one or both. Spears and Page start to beat down Trick, but Javon Evans makes the save, and the faces stand tall. So I kind of like the crowded...
$5 says we get a tag match next week.
I kind of like the crowded title scene. It makes the title feel important, and when several people want it, right, it makes sense. Looks like we're getting a triple threat or a four-way, possibly at Heatwave, which I'm okay with.
It bolsters it because, like, on the surface, Trick and Javon would be
not a pay-per-view main event. Bate and Dunn confront Ridge Holland backstage.
They did do it.
What do you mean?
Because last time Holland and Dunn interacted, he was still Butch.
So now they make a good point. They're basically like, you split with our group to go out on your own, and now you're part of Chase U. It's like, that is a very fair point. Hank and Tank walk up and ask Dunn and Bate for a match, and they agree. So Hank is healthy again. I guess we'll see where they go.
Yay, more Pete Dunne.
Tag division seems to be fairly healthy, so that's good.
I'm just going to keep petting my Pete Dunne.
You do that. Stone and Stevie are competing to be Ava's assistant, apparently.
Okay, so this might...
Stone calls her a narc.
So...
Not much chance this is good.
This might be difficult to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. Stevie Turner went from streamer to assistant to the assistant.
Better question. Why is there an assistant, period? Second, why is it Robert Stone? Third, why is it Stevie Turner?
Office reference. It's Nelly versus Andy. There was a vacuum, and they're trying to fill it.
This feels more like, if anything, Dwight versus Andy from season 3, because they both have like made up jobs, and they're both fighting for this made up job that means nothing.
I guess.
Because like, Shawn Michaels is like commissioner of NXT, we'll say, just because like he's like, we all know he's running it, and Ava's the general manager. Doesn't that make her like the Dwight in this scenario?
Assistant to the general manager.
Yeah. No, she is the general manager. She's assistant to the commissioner. But then it's like, do we really need a third person?
And a fourth person?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I feel like it was honestly only just to get to that thing at the end of the show where they're like arguing, or they're like not arguing, but like discussing who should be in the main event.
It started last week, I think. With this.
I know, but like it just felt like that was the only way it was useful.
Could be. Wesley, Joe Coffey, surprisingly short match, like under 4 minutes.
I think I was there because I remember you saying
Lee won with the cardiac kick. I think you were there.
The kick looked solid, actually, this time.
Femi shows up in the balcony, says it's Lee versus Femi at Heatwave, so that's cool.
That's one of the matches I'm like, yeah.
But as you said, it's Lee's last chance at the North American title.
Yeah, so
could be if Femi retains and
I feel like it is, because what more does Lee need to do if he gets that title? You know what I mean? I feel like his run is one of the most notable in that title's history, and he doesn't, at least not right now, he doesn't need to go back to that.
No.
And Trick might be hurting for some quality challengers.
Yeah, this Trick title run hasn't been great for me.
I mean, but what did you really expect?
I guess.
I think so. You're saying like it's kind of like how Swerve's was going pre this feud, but the expectations are vastly different.
And the in-ring will be
yeah, like a Swerve I don't worry about in the ring.
No. The family are interviewed in the locker room. Crucifino and Stax have given Tony a game plan for Fraser in the match tonight for the Heritage Cup.
Show you Tony's new elite.
Nothing. This is weird because at the time I write, this was nothing more than maybe foreshadowing shenanigans, but I don't think there was a ton of shenanigans. So not foreshadowing anything, I guess.
Just useless.
What does that mean? Chase U cow rate backstage.
Celebrate?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But like, how?
So they celebrate backstage, and Ridge takes an envelope. So someone comes up, because this happens all the time. You'll, as a wrestling fan, you'll know how many times this has happened. Someone walks up to Hudson and goes, "Here's the pictures from your match last week," like in a manila envelope. Because remember, Holland like helped the pin and nobody saw it. So I'm assuming Holland. So maybe Duke felt that someone was touching him and asked to see the pictures to clarify.
But
are we to believe that after every match, somebody's like giving them stills of the match?
First off, yeah, why is he getting the photos? Second off, why are they physical photos? Because I've seen wrestlers post pictures of their matches.
It is 2024.
It's 2024. Third off, I don't know. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because, like, yeah, you would just get them digitally. And why?
So then
did he ask for them?
In the celebration, like, Ridge, like, takes them from Duke and sort of hopes he forgets about them.
I guess.
Is what's happening. So Heritage Cup match is next. Round one. It's Tony D'Angelo versus Nathan Fraser. So
you say it right. They say Fraser.
Fraser gets rolled up. He rolls up Tony 40 seconds in. So this has now happened twice where people win in the first round, but like no matches ever end in the first 2 minutes. So it's
not even speed.
No, so it's weird to me. Round two, Tony hits a spine buster about halfway through, then that ties it up. And commentary seemed to get confused.
I saw a bit of this, and just the way Tony wrestles, it's like he's not horrible, but it just doesn't fit.
They seem confused on what his finisher is because they call this the forget about it, the spine buster, which it's not. And then
the forget about that, like, fisherman neckbreaker.
Yes.
So he used to do the Northern Lights into the fisherman neckbreaker,
yes.
right? But isn't it just the fisherman neckbreaker now?
So they get confused, it seems. The last half of round 3 and the first half of round 4 during a commercial, so that's a little different.
Yeah, because I remember I was here when you were watching it. I wasn't really paying attention, but you're like, what? Round 4?
Yeah.
And this is why you can't believe this on TV, because I remember the last one I watched was...
it doesn't matter. You miss some of every match. It just happens to be around.
It's just like, it's a format
You're missing
buster,
the same
though.
town.
That's the thing, you know what I mean?
Time, sorry.
And like, because the one with Butch and Dar that I watched, or Pete Dunne, at No Mercy was great because it's uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Being ignored from the PLE is not a good sign either.
Annoyed me a little because Fraser kicks out of the same spine buster later that he couldn't kick out of when he'd taken no real offense.
Was that the midair one before?
No.
That's later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Round 5, Tony saved by the bell after a Fraser splash right at the end, Phoenix splash. Round 6, avalanche, overhead belly to belly, and another spine buster, and it's over. Just like not a lot of drama. The match was fine, but it seems like some storytelling should have happened with Axiom and Fraser because they've been doing this whole, and nothing happened there. Nothing
like
really happened with the family.
Off.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like, Tony D doesn't fit it, and then like, I'd like to point out with Dart, it was getting on PLEs against like Dragon Lee and against Dunn. There was the whole Global Heritage Invitational last year that was really cool.
Yeah. Now
it's nothing.
Tony D.
It's a big stupid cup with an Italian mobster who kills people sometimes, but you're supposed to cheer for him.
That's right. That's correct. That is an accurate assessment. Trick and Evans in the locker room. Evans wants to watch Trick's back tonight, but Trick's like a little gung-shy about people watching his back, and he wants to lock in by himself and just says, I'll meet you at Heatwave, and Evans says he understands.
I'd like them to make a shirt that says, Javon, just jump.
So, just jump?
Because he's bouncy.
He's very bouncy. Roxanne defeated Carmen Petrovic in a pretty basic 4-minute match with Lola Vice on commentary.
And she didn't get stabbed?
She did not do well on commentary. The best part on commentary was when the camera was on her and she was yelling at Roxanne in Spanish.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Petrovic should play Sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail has a sword.
Sure does.
I mean, who's to say she didn't stab Gable in the head last week?
She might have. It looked like it. They recovered pretty well.
He's Deadpool. I don't know.
Petrovic got one decent stretch in the middle of this and then pop rocks for the win. And then Vice gets in the ring. Perez tries to sneak back fist, and Vice catches it and absolutely drills Perez with a back fist. Looked awesome. I don't know why you refuse to give her credit. It looked awesome.
So it looked like she didn't really hit her with her fist, and you could hear the snap.
Just the speed of it and the sound of it.
Yeah, but
was awesome.
It didn't look like she actually hit the move she was supposed to hit.
So Vice takes
a Judas effect.
Vice takes the belt. I was hoping Vice on commentary would sort of solidify. Is she a babyface now? What are we doing here? But it didn't really.
I feel like if anything, she is only because Perez isn't.
I think maybe, and that's what I'm feeling like. It's a temporary. In this case, you're less heel, but maybe not overall. But
less heel
again,
makes you likable.
Dar's on the phone with Metaphor. I know you saw this. He said he has a torn tendon from Paige's attack, and Mensa's going to get the revenge. And Mensa goes, this group makes me smile. And then he tells this crazy story from his childhood, right? Of his dad almost dying and getting 60% of his body covered with burns. And I think he said they had to go from Nigeria to Switzerland to get the burns treated.
I don't remember.
And then that was his motivation to get revenge for Noam Dar.
I guess that's just his motivation in a general sense.
And I love when wrestlers
realism's good, and sometimes stories like this work.
But
MJF's told a bunch of different ones.
And this was a cool story, but this seemed misplaced. The whole tone of this group is they're silly and I don't know, it just felt really bizarre to me. So it didn't really make sense a whole lot, but a cool story. And I appreciate them trying to do something with Mensa because he's kind of cool. Good Brothers take out the mud backstage, and then I said, Meechin and Jada Parker run in and everyone brawls. Cool. Ava's got.
I knew it was coming soon.
Ava with 2 people. I paused so Jack could guess, and he got 1. So you got Carly Bright, and I think the other one is Layla Gray or something Gray.
Layla Gray is the Jade Cargill girl that we always were just it's Layla Gray.
And I told you their tag team name, whether it was actual or someone just gave it to them, was Bright Gray, which I think you didn't want to admit was.
It is really funny.
Yeah, it is. So anyways, Carly Bright, the one you identified, will face Wendy Chu next week.
I don't think I've seen the other one in my entire life.
I don't know who it is. And then Lola Vice walks in, drops off the women's title, and basically demands a title match with Roxanne at Heatwave. So that's fine. Tavion Heights, remember he won a spot in the No Quarter Catch crew by fairly quickly, surprisingly defeating Damon Kemp.
I just saw that.
So remember they asked him to join the group. He said yes, and then they said nope. You got to win a match first. It's so stupid.
That's what I saw. Yeah, because I actually did see the thing where and then they did the deaf spot too.
Hey man, want to join our group? Yeah, sure. Nope. You got to win a match first. Okay, whatever. Anyways, Kemp was in control for
most. It's like they heard what they wanted to hear, but what they wanted to hear isn't what they wanted.
I think you saw this because Heights won with a overhead belly to belly and then a big twisting belly to belly.
But why? That's a weird way to win.
And I think they're suggesting that Kemp was distracted by the others, and then Dempsey afterward is definitely annoyed with Kemp. So, I'm just you can't do Kemp as a babyface. I don't think it.
Your brother was a disappointment.
But anyways, we'll see where it
goes.
Something
like
that. Kalani Jordan, I think you saw this too. She wants to be a no drama champion, right?
I hated this. It was so
and defend against people who deserve it, and then move on to someone else.
She sucks.
So basically, her options are Grace, which is obviously a high drama one, and Ruka, who represents the one who deserves it and isn't high drama. And then I thought Jada Parker came in and stole this.
She was good. I thought Lonnie was nah.
Jada Parker just oozes confidence, man. I think she's sick, and she demands a street fight with Meechin.
Okay, but hear me out. Nobody does it like Lonnie.
That's right. Lonnie's not sounding super comfortable yet.
No,
but that's okay. It's developmental.
Maybe Mello needs to help her out a bit.
Brindley Reese's positivity is kind of wearing thin on Anafi, and Izzy Dame kind of adds fuel to the fire.
I noticed Anafi had like card suits on. Like, yeah, I saw like an ace and the clubs on it. Is that like, is he just wear random?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's any connection, anything. And then Tatum Paxley's kind of in the, you can see her through the window behind. Kind of weird, right?
It reminds me of the one bit from Impractical Jokers where like they have like the
glass
fog
behind,
glass
try
and
not
like
to
it
laugh.
switches. Yeah, it just reminded her being behind the thing. It just reminded me of that.
And so it's almost like they're teasing something with Blade, and because Blade's like, her positivity's fine, it's great, we love it, and then Nanafe's kind of like, nah. So my thing is like, this feels like we tried you guys as a tag team, it's not working out. Little bit of singles, and then release City, sign with TNA.
Anafe always.
That's what it feels
always
like.
Looks like something presentation wise.
Yeah,
because he always had some more entrance gear. He's like a little more jacked.
I enjoy them as a team. It's just they just kind of spinning the wheels all the time for some reason. Axiom gives Fraser a pep talk in the locker room after Fraser's loss. Kind of interesting because he's like, oh, you lost, but now we can focus on the tag match, blah, blah, blah. We can go watch tape like we normally do. And Fraser's like, that sounds great, but I got to get ready for a speed match. And my back is really sore.
If you're getting shrugged off for a speed match, then you should be concerned.
So Axiom's not happy about it, obviously. It is Sol Ruca is the number one contender for the Women's North American Championship. She beats Ariana Grace in like 4 minutes. She
struggled to get the Soul Snatcher going.
She did take the Soul Snatcher out of the corner, but she did win it with the Soul Snatcher. Grace got a decent run in the middle and looked okay. She got to hit some offense.
She hit a Matt Hardy elbow.
She did.
From the middle rope.
Roxanne Perez gets her belt back from Ava, and the Heat Wave match with Lola Vice is official. And I said, heel women are annoyed with Ruka and Kalani getting too much attention. I think it was JC Jane who you notice is wearing a double mask.
Yeah.
It was Jane, Nix, and Fallon Henley, right? I think came in. They might just do something about them. Baby faces getting too much attention.
What do you call Toxic Attraction plus Country? Because that's what they should call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
I'll think about it. I'll reflect on it.
Toxic County, just like in honor of Bear County.
Bear County.
County.
Bear County. Shout out to Bear County.
The county of toxicity.
Yes.
Boom.
Main event, Sean Spears defeated Trick in an 8-minute match. Things came to a head when Jensen climbed into the ring, right? And refs have to get involved and drag him out.
And you work yourself so hard, you'll work yourself into a shooter.
And as they're trying to like claw him back sort of thing, he grabs the top of the
I will say the way security was handling him was like pretty realistic. It's just like
he still gets a shot in.
You can't do a work shoot anymore. It doesn't like
no.
It's not.
Of course not. Anyone who thought it was a shoot is dumb.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
all
like
there is to, like you don't.
Because like the thing like
you just wanted it to be
with Hall and Nash, and like you can't do that anymore.
No,
because that's it's kind of like part of the Home Alone premise. It just like it benefits from being of its time. Because Home Alone right now, if you did that, it doesn't work the same. Because like you guys could just text me.
Right. Cell phones have ruined everything.
Yeah.
So this was Jensen hits Trick with the top of the announce table while being kind of held back. And then Spears hits his C4, and I prefer it because he did hit it into the corner. It looks better. So he picks up the win. And Jensen's new gimmick is putting him right in the main event scene. Like seems like a reach. Or is
I've seen people call him Jack Perry because he kind of looks like him. He's doing like kind of...
It's weird. And then for some reason, Stone and Turner are like recapping everything that's happening.
He beat this guy, and he beat this guy, and this guy won that, and... stuff.
So surprise of all surprises, Ava adds Spears to make it a 4-way at Heat Wave, which is fine. That should be a fun match. And again, I think Evans and Trick benefit from it being more people involved.
Absolutely.
That can wrestle.
And two experienced people as well.
That's right. So it should be fine, and the show is good.
I think that decision's a perfect 10.
Any SmackDown stuff?
Nailed it. The only thing I had was Bloodline.
Yay.
High spot. Kind of.
What'd they do?
I thought, first off, great job with Fatu's presentation entrance on SmackDown. He looked like a big deal.
Good. He looks awesome.
He looked killer.
He's awesome,
really
man.
Cool from the highlights I've seen of him.
He
cool. Looked killer between this week and last week. Also, on this high spot is Heyman said Solo's not his tribal chief. He got shield bombed for his troubles.
Shield bomb.
Heyman's doing great work, and this has to mean Roman comes back soon because you can't let him be a good old Paulie like that.
No, you wouldn't think. I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
We'll see what goes down.
Nice. Did you say you had figuring or no?
Yeah, there's like a little bit, but we also have our preview.
Oh, right.
Last time we forgot.
That's right. We did. So we will do that right now. We will talk about a preview and predictions for AEW Forbidden Door. All right, you're going to have to take a break from listening to Cassius Ohno's theme. Yes, I could hear that bleeding from your headphones, you weirdo.
Second day in a row. I listened to it in the speaker after I showered yesterday.
I would hazard to say that you're the only person in the world listening to that song.
That's one of my favorites of all time, I think.
It's a banger, is it?
It's a bop.
All right, so let's preview Forbidden Door. I did put a little thought into it.
I did too, but it varies. First, for the 0 hour, I already said I'm not mentioning Soraya, so get out. But the first one is Yoda Tsuji. Love Tsuji. Yeah. Titan and Hiromu Takahashi. Wait, Yujiro Takahashi. It's not Yujiro Tanahashi, it's Yujiro Takahashi. I messed up earlier. Or did I? I'm not going back to check. It doesn't matter. They're taking on, it's the LIJ boys against Mystico and Lucha Bros, which is worth noting because Lucha Bros are AAA boys and not CMLL, who are the Mexican promotion who work with New Japan. So this is interesting. It is truly a Forbidden Door. And previously, them and Andrade were not allowed to work Forbidden Door because of that. So it is double notable.
Right.
I'm taking the Lucha guys, mostly just because I do want Tsuji to win, but it just feels like the Lucha guys win.
It feels like a home team win here. I am also taking...
Well, it's kind of home team, I guess.
The AEW people.
AEW and Botchkara, okay.
True.
0 hour also is Statlander and Momo Watanabe versus Willow and Tam Nakano. My logic here is Statlander gets the win here. Willow wins the tournament match on Dynamite.
I'm the reverse.
Okay.
Just because. I think Willow wins here and then loses to Stat.
Well, it depends because
Stat needs the win.
I don't remember because... Oh, that's true. I just don't remember who they face if they win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
If I remember the bracket better, maybe my thing would be different. Next we get MJF versus Hechicero. Love Hechicero,
Tough
but
pick here.
No chance.
No, it's MJF.
Chance.
I'm hoping to just see more cool Hechicero offense.
Hechicero is about as much of a chance as
some of these matches. There's
Rouge.
No.
Yeah. Cassidy versus Sabre is up next. I kind of feel it could go either way, but I'm definitely more leaning towards Cassidy eking out a win.
I'll take Sabre.
I was leaning towards that, but
I think
I was not leaning towards that. So
I think they're on the cusp of saying Sabre is one of the men in New Japan, and I don't think losing to Cassidy helps him. And I don't think Cassidy's hurt by a loss to Sabre either. Yeah. So
Elite versus Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Acclaimed. I feel like the Acclaimed win here because they're not winning the tag title.
Agree. That is exactly my thoughts. Is that they're not. This is a win where they get nothing other than saying they get a win, and that's all they'll get.
Yeah. Then we get Danielson versus Takagi. Danielson has a story going on through this tournament where he's trying to get this last hurrah. Yes. Shingo has nothing to gain from going in the tournament farther. So,
and normally my first instinct is, well, Danielson loves to put people over, but he just started this whole
there's no need for him to put Shingo over. Really.
He just started this whole I'm tired of losing, I can't lose anymore. Yeah. So I think Danielson as well.
Mm-hmm. Next we get the TNT Championship ladder match, which will be Lio Rush versus Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Dante Martin versus Jack Perry versus the final spot. The final spot's either ELP or AR Fox. I don't think either of them are winning, but I assume that's going to be ELP.
I'm looking at a preview right now, and it has ELP literally listed. That's the second one I've seen.
It was the Rampage match, it was a Rampage match tonight, so maybe I didn't see the...
So it is ELP.
Okay, I figured. I really, 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 really want this to be Takeshita.
It's not.
I will be rooting for Takeshita the whole time. Let it be known, I'm rooting for Takeshita.
It's Jungle Jack Perry.
It's Jack Perry.
I think so too. And honestly, those are the only two possibilities. Yeah. It's not Lio Rush, it's not Dante, it's not ELP, it's not Briscoe, I don't think.
Briscoe would be my third pick, I guess.
So I think it's Perry. They just
I do think it's
to
Perry.
Get that ball rolling. Takeshita's got bigger things.
Love it. I would hope so.
Me too.
I would just love it so much if it was Takeshita. Just please.
It's not.
I beg of you.
I don't think it is.
Then we get Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. Mina feels like a solid threat, but that kind of also gets diminished by the fact that she's an outsider. Storm wins.
She does win. And it is part of that outsider. I don't think she's signed to a contract. Plus, the ultimate payoff is the Storm May thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed. So it's Storm. That one's pretty easy.
Mox versus Naito's up next. Despite my very little interest, this feels like a tough one to call because I'm not sure how long New Japan want Mox as champion, and I'm not sure this is it for him. Naito didn't have a long run, particularly before he lost it, so I don't know if that's in a sense that you're gonna get it back really soon, so don't worry about it, or it's more we're not really gonna have you as champion for long and you're transitioning it. So I'm gonna take Mox on the basis that I doubt they'd want their main title to change hands on like outsider soil.
I'm taking Naito. I like it. I just think they need to get their title back on one of their guys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they want to do right now or not. Like, you know what I mean?
I think they do. I think they should probably.
And plus, it's G1 season, so if their champion's really absent, does it really matter?
Yes, because they usually have the champion in the tournament, and that's why it's one of the.
Is Naito in there?
That's one of the. Isn't he? I'm sure he is. No.
Oh, I think he is. Yeah,
he must be.
That's
one of the added things. If the champion can win it, then he doesn't have to worry about a title shot for anyone.
That's dumb.
It's one of the things.
I know, but it's dumb. Next we got Monet versus Vacker. TBS title, strong women's title for title. It's easily Monet here. We all know that strong title is made for her, and Will only got it because she was injured.
Agree.
Monet is also not losing her title so soon, so it's double whammy.
Yeah, it's Monet for sure. There's no way they're having her lose to anyone, especially somebody people don't even know generally. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Last one is Swerve versus Ospreay.
Tough one.
This one has me torn more than anything else. It feels like one of those matches where they kind of book themselves in a corner. Not like horribly, like, because I was thinking like Rollins Fiend, where it's like you don't have Rollins lose the title, but you didn't want to have the Fiend lose.
Yeah.
That one's like stupid, but like this one's like you have to book yourselves in a corner, but it's also like not like horrible because like it's either Swerve's title run's done or Ospreay's undefeated streak goes to dust. I feel like more signs point towards an Ospreay loss. I don't think he needs 2 titles, and he keeps his regardless of his loss. So
I think the Callis family screw him over.
Callis family will inadvertently screw him, or the Storm Driver comes into play. He full on grabbed the title multiple times, and he offered shots he can't promise. He's jinxing himself like 50 times. It's feeling like Swerve. I'm not 100%, but it feels
same.
Like
I'm also taking Swerve. I just think that there's too much of him with the Ospreay with the title holding it.
I'm not even superstitious. It's just like that's a thing that happens.
And I think that Callis family get involved somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I say we tack on the figuring it out because I just got the low battery warning and it's like 12:36 a.m. and I
do it off of memory? No, I'll just look at big images on
don't
my
let the computer die. I think this computer won't die as suddenly as your mother's old one. So
that was
we got
quite
time.
The adventure. Where is? I don't even see the thing on the thing.
So imagine kids cheering right now. Yay! It's figuring it out with Jack.
You're getting merch right now. Where is Elite 111? Okay, there it is. See, I was talking my way through it. Therefore, it's okay.
It's vamping.
Yeah. The first one is Cody Rhodes from Elite. We got Elite 111 images. The first one was Cody Rhodes. I do really like the gear. It's from his last match with Redacted at SummerSlam last year. It looks swell. It's largely white, so I like it. Then we got Balor from same show against Rollins. It was that one where he had remember he had the 7 on his shoulder.
Oh right, and in like paint.
Yeah, that
match.
Like,
what?
So
yeah,
that one looks good. I just don't like the head because it's not very accurate to current Balor.
Yep.
It's just like the hair and it's just like an older expression. Then we got Tony D decked out in like the cloth jacket and a cloth singlet.
Yeah.
They did him dirty with the body choice. Like I'll have to show you. I'll pull it up really
We're
fast.
We're on literally. Your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged in, and we lose this whole recorded segment.
I just gotta show you because it just looks.
I'm not re-recording this whole segment, so
looks like balls. Okay, and then that they did him dirty with that body.
That's not great.
Yeah. Then Ricochet from SummerSlam, same one, which is the match with Logan Paul. So that one's cool. Which is funny because and that'll be his last figure, I guess.
Yeah.
Then current Trish Stratus, which looks fine. Then ECW Sandman. There's one white and black speckled pants, and then
cigarettes and beer.
He has barbed wire around him in a bunch of cans. Yeah,
that's close.
Unmarked cans, but yeah. And then the Chase variant is Sandman, and he's got I don't know if you remember the attire where he has those America pants. It's kind of like the one guy I watched.
Zubas. They were big.
And the one YouTuber compared to Rex Kwon Do.
Yeah, exactly.
Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. So those look solid. There was some basics and stuff too, but I don't care about that. And
nice. We gotta pause this before things die.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll watch Forbidden Door. We're hoping to love it. We may record it before 207. You never know.
Summer hours, we'll see.
We're hoping. Yeah, we are on summer hours, so we got lots of time, in theory anyways. But thanks so much for joining us for episode 206. We will be back here next Saturday for sure. And until then, everybody, take care.